So what you should know here is what are the sources of protein you should know, what is the daily requirement, and what are the functions of these proteins and their significance. Composition of protein you should know, classification and the properties of proteins you should know. This is the aim and learning objectives of this class. Now if you see the composition of proteins are mainly composed of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen and rich amounts of nitrogen. Some proteins contain other elements like sulfur, phosphorus, etc. Okay, some proteins also contain elements like sulfur, phosphorus, etc. Now amino acids are the building blocks of proteins. Amino acids are the building blocks of proteins. Amino acids are the building blocks of proteins. Now proteins are made up of 20 different amino acids held by peptide bonds. So proteins are made up of 20 different amino acids held by peptide bonds. Now if you see the proteins, they are made up of amino acids. You should understand certain terms called peptides, polypeptides and protein. When you call a substance as peptide, if the compound is consisting or made up of 2 to 10 amino acids, if the compound is made up of 2 to 10 amino acids, then it is called peptide. Now if a compound substance is made up of more than 10 amino acids, then it is called a polypeptide. And when you call a protein, if the protein consists of more than 50 amino acids, if the substance consists of more than 50 amino acids, then you can call it as protein. So polypeptide, peptide and protein, you should know that there is a difference in the number of amino acids. Now this A is, think that this is an amino acid, A is an amino acid. All these amino acids are linked by peptide bonds. And they form peptides, polypeptides and proteins. Peptides, polypeptides and proteins. Okay. Now if you see the proteins, you have understood that they are made up of amino acids now. So to understand more about proteins, we should understand the chemistry of amino acids first. Okay, so after that we can discuss the protein chemistry. So now you should know the amino acid chemistry, then you can understand better about protein chemistry. So we'll see what is an amino acid, how many are there, what is their role, what are their properties and all we'll discuss now. There are 20 amino acids found as structural components of proteins. All are encoded by genes. They differ from each other by their side chain. So amino acids differ from each other in the side chain. Two amino acids are held by peptide bond. So two amino acids are linked by peptide bond. L forms are biologically active amino acids. Now if you see the structure of an amino acid, actually the C must be here in the center. This carbon must be here. So because some change is there while focusing this. Okay, so you think that this C should be at the center, and you know that the carbon maximum valency is 4, means carbon can form maximum of 4 single bonds. Now if you see the structure of an amino acid, the it consists of an amino acid is a compound with acidic and amine group, with acid and amino group, acid and amino group. That is why it is called amino acid. So it consists of an amino group and an acid group, that is COOH group. So COOH is an acid, amino group NH group is there. So both amino and carboxylic group are present on the same carbon. That should be on alpha carbon. So same carbon should contain carboxylic group and amino group, then it is called an amino acid. Then it is called an amino acid. So it consists of acidic group. It also consists of a basic group. Acidic group is COOH group. Basic group is amino group. Basic group is amino group. So amino acid is a compound with both acid and amino groups. So this consists of COOH group and amino group linked to an alpha carbon atom. Alpha carbon atom. Then that compound is said to be amino acid. Now if you see the amino acid classification, amino acids are classified into different types based on the side chain. Now if you see the classification of amino acid, the amino acids are classified into different types based on the structure and side chain. Let us see simple amino acids. It is classified into simple amino acid. You can see glycine is an example for simple amino acid. Is the simplest amino acid because it does not consist of any side chain. There is no side chain and no asymmetric carbon atom for glycine amino acid. You know that there are 20 amino acids in the living organisms. It is common. It may be a prokaryote, it may be eukaryote, it may be animal, it may be human being, it may be a plant. Any living organism you take, there are only 20 amino acids. Okay. So those 20 amino acids are classified into different types based on their structure, side chain, based on their different criteria. It is classified into different types. Now this classification is based on the side chain, based on the structure and side chain. The amino acids are classified into different types. The first classification is simple amino acid. Example, glycine and alanine. Glycine is called the simplest amino acid. It contains no side chain and there is no asymmetric carbon. See here, this is the carbon with carboxylic group and amino group on its structure and two more bonds with hydrogen. Since these two hydrogen bonds are there, this carbon is not a asymmetric carbon. You know, asymmetric carbon means that carbon should bind with 4 different groups or 4 different atoms or 4 different compounds. Then only that carbon is called as asymmetric carbon. Since in this glycine is bonded with 2 hydrogen atoms, same atoms are bonded to the carbon. So this is not, there is no asymmetric carbon. This is the simplest amino acid and there is no asymmetric carbon, there is no side chain. So this is the simplest amino acid called glycine. Second amino acid is called alanine. This is simple amino acid and CH3 is the side chain. Now see the structure of alanine. So one hydrogen is replaced by methyl group. So here comes the methyl group. So this becomes glycine becomes alanine. Okay. So next class is branched chain amino acids. Based on the structure and side chain, we are talking the classification of amino acids. Simple amino acids followed by branched chain amino acids. Second type is branched chain amino acid. Example, valine, leucine and isoleucine. Valine, leucine and isoleucine are examples of branched chain amino acid. See, valine is CH-COONH3 plus CH3CH3. Leucine, CH3CH3CH2. Isoleucine, CH3CH2CH3. So all these things you can see commonly the alpha carbon bonded with COOH group and amino group. Alpha carbon bonded with COOH group and amino group. Alpha carbon bonded with COOH group and amino group. Okay. So the branched chain amino acids, example valine, leucine and isoleucine. If you see the structure of these amino acids, there is branch. They are not linear. There is a branch point. So there is a branch point. That is why these are called as branched chain amino acids. Third type of classification of amino acids is hydroxy amino acids. Example for hydroxy amino acids, we have serine and threonine. Serine and threonine are examples of hydroxy amino acids. Serine and threonine. Next type of amino acid classification, amino acid is sulfur containing amino acids. Sulfur containing amino acids, example cysteine and methionine. Cysteine, cysteine and methionine. These three are actually, cysteine and cysteine both are same only, there is no much difference actually, so we can consider as only one amino acid, that is cysteine and methionine are examples for sulfur containing atoms, sulfur containing amino acids. Now next sub classification is next class of proteins is amino acids with acidic groups and their amides. Amino acids with acidic groups means acidic amino acids and their amide forms. Aspartic acid, you can see here, in addition to the COOH and amino group, there is additional COOH group. Okay. So beta carbon is carboxylated, means COOH is group present on beta carbon. So this is beta carboxylation, aspartic acid. And its amide form, if you see the amide form, this becomes COOH is reacts with the amino group and becomes amide, that is called as asparagine. Aspartic acid is an acidic amino acid and its amide form is asparagine. Similarly, glutamic acid is an acidic amino acid and its amide form is called glutamine. So amino acids with acidic amino acids and their amides, examples aspartic acid and asparagine, glutamic acid and glutamine. So the side chains containing basic groups, means basic amino acids. Basic amino acids, they contain additional amino group. In addition to the NH3 group present on alpha carbon, they contain one or more amino groups in its structure, so they become basic. So basic amino acids, example arginine, lysine and histidine. Arginine, lysine and histidine. See, in all these three amino acids there is one extra amino group. Here also there is an extra amino group compared to the amino group that is present on the alpha carbon. So that is why these are basic amino acids. Example for basic amino acids include arginine, lysine and histidine. Now aromatic amino acids are also there. They are phenylalanine, tryptophan and tyrosine. Phenylalanine, tyrosine and tryptophan. Phenylalanine, you can see the benzene ring, and phenyl means it is alanine. It is just nothing but alanine amino acid which is attached to the phenyl ring. So it becomes phenylalanine. Now tyrosine. The tyrosine contains an additional hydroxy group compared to phenylalanine. Rest everything is same as that of phenylalanine. Only difference between phenylalanine and tyrosine is hydroxy group is present on the benzene ring. So tryptophan, if you see the tryptophan, indole ring is there. So this is another aromatic ring. Aromatic means because they contain this benzene ring in their structure, that is why they are called as aromatic amino acids. Example, phenylalanine, tyrosine and tryptophan. Next amino acid is proline, is the 20th amino acid. Actually this is not exactly amino acid, it is called imino acid. Amino acid. See, the amine and carboxy groups of proline, react to form a ring-like structure. Therefore, instead of amino group, an imino ring group is seen in proline. The functional group is called as pyrrolidine. Proline is the 20 amino acid. It is called as imino acid. So the summary here I have given you. So all the 20 amino acids are classified based on their side chain, based on their structure and side chain. So amino acids are classified into simple amino acid, branched chain amino acid, hydroxy group containing amino acids, sulfur containing amino acids, acidic amino acids and their amide forms, basic amino acids, aromatic amino acids and amino acids. The number is also given correspondingly here. Simple amino acids we have example glycine and alanine. Branched chain amino acids we have valine, leucine and isoleucine, hydroxy group containing amino acids serine and threonine, sulfur containing amino acids cysteine and methionine, acidic amino acids aspartic acid and glutamic acid, and their amide forms if you see asparagine and glutamine. So basic amino acids arginine, histidine and lysine. Arginine, histidine and lysine are basic amino acid. Aromatic amino acids we have phenylalanine, tyrosine and tryptophan, followed by the amino acid proline. So total 20 amino acids are classified like this based on the side chain and structure. Okay, so this is the structure of amino acid we have seen. This is called alpha carbon. Alpha carbon consists of carboxylic group and amino group. So this is called amino acid. So this is the alpha carbon, and what will happen in solution, this amino acid exists as dipolar ion. This is also called as Zwitter ion. They can act as acid or base, therefore they are also called as ampholytes. Okay, now if you see here, you can see COOH is actually in the solution, it is present as COO minus. NH2 is actually in the solution, it is present as NH3 plus. Means the H group hydrogen donated by acid group is taken up by the proton is taken up by the basic group and becomes NH3 plus, it becomes COO minus. So in the solutions, the amino acids exist in dipolar ion state or Zwitter ion state, and they can act as acid or base. Therefore called as ampholytes. Therefore they are called as ampholytes. Now there is other classification is also there for amino acids based on the polarity. So based on polarity, negative charge containing amino acid, positive charge containing amino acid, no charge amino acids with no charge. So amino acids based on the polarity, they are classified into negative charge amino acids, positive charge amino acids with no charge. Negative charge amino acids are aspartic acid and glutamic acid. Positive charge containing amino acids are arginine, histidine and lysine. No charge amino acids include serine, threonine, asparagine and glutamine. And non-polar amino acids with aliphatic side chain, valine, leucine, isoleucine and proline, and aromatic side chain, phenylalanine, tyrosine. These are non-polar amino acids. So based on the polarity, they are classified into polar and non-polar. In polar, further they are classified into negative charge containing amino acids, positive charge containing amino acid, and amino acids with no charge. And non-polar amino acids aliphatic side chain, and non-polar amino acids with aromatic side chain. This is how based on the polarity they are classified. Now classification based on the metabolic fate, if you see, based on the metabolic fate, amino acids are classified into glucogenic amino acid, ketogenic amino acids, and both glucogenic and ketogenic amino acids. Example for glucogenic amino acid is given here. Ketogenic amino acid only leucine, both ketogenic and glucogenic, isoleucine, lysine, phenylalanine, tyrosine and tryptophan comes under ketogenic and glucogenic amino acid. Okay. Now classification is also there for amino acids based on the nutritional value. So based on the nutritional value, they are classified into three types: essential amino acids, semi-essential amino acids and non-essential amino acids. Essential amino acids means these are the amino acids which are not synthesized in our body, so they should be supplied in our diet. So they should be supplied compulsorily in the diet. They are called as essential amino acids. Semi-essential amino acids means these if the precursor amino acid is present in the body, they can synthesize. If the precursor amino acid is not present in the body, they cannot be synthesized in the body. So such kind of amino acids are called semi-essential amino acid. And non-essential amino acids, if you see, non-essential amino acid means these are the amino acids which can be synthesized in the body. So even if you don't take in the diet also, there is no problem. But essential amino acids, they cannot be synthesized in the body, so they should be taken up in the diet. So essential amino acids, if you see, we have out of 28 amino acids are essential amino acid, 2 are semi-essential and 10 are non-essential amino acid. Non-essential amino acids can be synthesized in the body, so they don't need to be supplied in the diet particularly. Okay, so definition of amino acid, if you see the amino acids that cannot be synthesized in the body and their absence causes diseases, and therefore they should be supplied in the diet. There are 10 essential amino, actually 8 only I have told, right? So 8 amino acids only are there, but 10 actually, because semi essential, if the precursor is absent they become essential. That is why it is mentioned 8 plus 2 is 10. Now to remember these 10 amino acids, I will tell you one mnemonics. Mnemonics means a short term to remember this 10 essential amino acids. Okay, it is called Dr. A.V. Hill MPTT. Dr. A.V. Hill MPTT. Now remember Dr. A.V. Hill. A. Arginine, V. Valine, Hill, H. Histidine, I. Isoleucine, L. Leucine, L. Lysine. A.V. Hill. MPTT, M. Methionine, P. Phenylalanine, T. Tryptophan, T. Threonine. Okay, so among these 10 essential amino acids, 8 are only actually essential, whereas arginine and histidine are semi-essential. They are semi-essential. They are semi-essential because when arginine and histidine precursor amino acids are present in the body, then they can be synthesized in the body. Suppose if the precursor amino acid is not there in the body, then they become essential. So arginine and histidine amino acids are called semi-essential. Okay, non-essential means the remaining 10 amino acids are non-essential amino acids. They can be synthesized by the body and need not be taken in the diet regularly. They are also essential for normal growth. All body proteins, they do contain both essential and non-essential amino acids. They are called as dispensable amino acid. Non-essential amino acids are also called as dispensable amino acid, whereas non-essential essential amino acids are called as indispensable amino acids.